Welcome to the OMA Microsoft Teams training video. In this video, we'll give you an introduction to the Microsoft Teams program. We will cover the Teams wall for group hosting and engagement, the files section, task project buckets for different employee projects getting worked on, and very importantly, clocking in and out, seeing shifts and shift notes or time blocking. Before we get into all of that, what is Teams and why are we bothering to learn it? Teams is described as a collaboration app that helps your team stay organized and have conversations, all in one place. It is the hub for all of us to talk with each other, share files, make plans, and get things done. Now that you know what it is, let's get started. You'll notice on the left-hand side here that there are a lot of different icons and they lead you to many different places, but we're going to focus on right here, Teams. If you click on this, you might get this page. If you're part of many other teams, you'll see different sections, but we're going to click on OMA Student Worker Team because that's one we want to talk about. Under the general subsection, you'll see that we have many different tabs: posts, files, staff notebook, student worker projects, and we'll get into that. But what we want to focus on is right here, posts. This is where we talk with each other. We can submit in posts, we can put in files, links, tag people, we can react, we can reply, we can see replies from other people as well, and we can even create our own post. Hello world, and submit. And this is how we can interact with each other. Next up, we're going to talk about the files section. So in the tabs, there's something called files. We're going to click on that. This is where we have all of our folders and files, and this is how we can upload, create documents, and share with others to get things done. For example, this might be a folder that you're given. And in here, you can create new documents, you can upload documents, you could download documents. It's very easy to share by copying the link and posting it on the post wall that we learned about earlier. You can work on it inside the app or browser. And what's even better, you can work on the documents within Microsoft Teams itself. That way, you don't have to leave Microsoft Teams to work on the things that you need to work on. Now that we've finished talking about files, let's talk about the tasks and project buckets. You can find that under student worker projects. Buckets can be thought of as categories or groups. And right now, each bucket is listed as our names. And in each bucket, you can see different tasks. For example, under Khadija, there's date conference and set up podcast plan. And there's some information that can be seen on the cards. You can also see completed tasks right here. You can see under mine that I completed 4 and they're marked out because they're already completed. This section is really important because it allows others to quickly know where you're at with a certain task instead of having to spend extra time to send emails asking for updates. If you need to add a task, you can click Add Task under the bucket you want to add a task to and enter a name and add task. And now you can see the card for the task is showing. If you click on a card, you can put in more details for the task itself. For example, you can assign the task to someone, and you can even assign more than one person. You can add a label. You can change the bucket. You can change the progress, priority, start date, and due date. You can add in notes so that we know what's happening. And you can add in different checklist items as a certain progress. You can add attachments by uploading something, or you can even link the files that you've uploaded in our file section earlier. You can add in comments so that other users know what's happening. And you can look at previous comments down below. When you're done, you can click on the check marks to show that it's complete. When you're done with the task, just click this check mark and it will list it as complete. If you want to delete a task, click on More Options and delete. You can also move, copy, or assign it or label it from the More Options. Now let's talk about clocking in and clocking out. To do that, we have to go to Shifts. On the left-hand column, let's click on Shifts. I don't have it right now. So if you do have it, click on it. If you don't, click on these 3 buttons right here, More Added Apps, and look for Shifts. If Shifts is not in this section, which mine is, type in Shifts and find an app. And then click on Shifts. It will open up Shifts, but you need to also pin it to the left-hand column. So right-click and click on Pin. Now, even if you move to a different app, Shifts will stay there. Shifts is an application that tells you what your hours are. In this case, it is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on a Friday. When it's time for you to clock in, there's a button up here that says Clock In. If you click on it, it will tell you what time it is right now and if you want to start your shift. Yes, we want to start our shift. We want to clock in. You're clocked in, and you can close it. On the top right-hand corner, instead of saying clocked in, it now tells you how much time you've spent in your shift. In this down arrow, you can clock out or you can start a break. When it's time for you to clock out, you can just click on this button. It will tell you what time it is and if you want to end your shift. It's not time for us to leave yet, so we're not going to end our shift. And that concludes our training of Microsoft Teams. Teams is a great tool for collaboration and getting things done with others. It's very useful with all the many applications that it has, and I urge you to explore on your own and get familiar with where everything is and how to get there. In this training, we covered the Teams wall, where we can post and share things and engage with each other, the Files section, where all of our files are stored, the Task Project buckets, where we can keep track of the progress of different tasks, and finally, we covered clocking in and out using the Shifts application. Welcome to the team.